Hello and welcome to the Traybakes and More Cooking channel. I'm Callie and today we're making Paris buns. Now you may be looking at these and saying, Callie, these look a bit like rock cakes, and you'd be right. The recipes are very, very similar. I think rock cakes usually have fruit in them, but you can add fruit to these if you want. You may also be looking at these and saying, Callie, why are these called Paris buns? They don't look very French. The honest answer to that is I don't know. If you know why these are called Paris buns, why something that's typically sold, in bakeries in Northern Ireland is called Paris buns, please let me know in the comments because I don't know either. What I do know is it's like a cross between a scone and a cake. They are delicious, especially if you eat them fresh from the oven. And they're also super simple to make. So here you go. It's another traditional classic bake, Paris buns. Okay, not a lot of preparation today. I'm preheating my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 190 degrees centigrade. And I've got a baking tray sitting ready and waiting to have the Paris buns transferred to that before they go in the oven. But really, let's get baking. So in here, I have my flour, sifted flour and baking powder, a little pinch of salt, because a little bit of salt helps to bring out the flavors in your sweet bakes, as well as using it in savory cooking. And in here, I have butter straight from the fridge, just cut up into cubes. I'm going to rub this into the flour, just like you were making scones or something like that. Just gently in between your fingertips. You don't want to mash at it or anything like that. Just very gently in your fingertips until this resembles coarse breadcrumbs. And then we'll move on to the next stage. Right, so this is what it looks like with all of the butter rubbed in. There's no big lumps of butter. There's a couple of, pieces that are larger than others in there. But on the whole, this is looking like some coarse breadcrumbs in here. And now we're just ready to add the sugar. Okay, the next stage. I have my dry ingredients here. I'm just going to add the sugar to these and mix that through. And then in this bowl, I've got an egg mixed with the milk and vanilla extract, and that's our wet ingredients. It's going to bind everything together. Simple as that. I'm just going to make a well in the center here. Add in my wet ingredients and mix. Right, and now I'm just going to get my baking sheet and we'll prepare these. Okay, here we go. I've divided my mixture into 6. The mix is quite sticky, so if you want to flour your hands when you're doing this, that helps. Don't worry about them being too smooth or too pretty looking, a little bit of irregularity and a few craggy bits on top add to the charm. And all I'm going to do is brush the tops with milk, sprinkle over it some pearl sugar. If you can't get hold of this, use some demerara or some other sort of sugar just to give a bit of crunch. And then we'll pop them in the oven. Here we go, fresh from the oven. Transfer them from a baking tray onto a wire rack to cool. Cool them for as long as you can bear it before you want to get stuck in, because they do taste delicious, just fresh out of the oven. As you can see, just bake these until they're golden. They spread a little bit as they're baking, but just space them out when you put them on the baking sheet and you'll be fine. And that's it, simple as that, Paris buns. So keep an eye out for more recipes, subscribe to my channel, tell your family and friends, and I'll see you again soon on Traybakes and More.